I'm Justin Darcy from bets.com.au, and today I'll be talking about Saturday's three Group 1s run at Caulfield, the Might and Power Stakes, the Toorak Handicap, and of course the big one, the Caulfield Guineas for the 3-year-old colts and geldings. We'll get stuck straight into it. We've got a very big day's racing ahead. Kicking off with the Might and Power Stakes, 6-horse field, and it does look a one-act affair though in Zaki, the $1.80 Cox Plate favourite. He's $1.30, $1.25 in this event, and again, he should just be winning as he did in the Underwood Stakes. He was too good for that field, which was a 5-horse field, even though he was very green in the straight. He's going to take a lot of improvement from that run going the Melbourne way of going. I'm confident he'll handle Caulfield, even though it can be a little bit of a tricky course to navigate. His class should get him over the line here. Last time we saw him over 2,000 metres was an absolute romp in the Doomben Cup, and he produced a near Winx-like rating that day, so anything near that, and he bolts in this field once again on track to the Cox Plate in a fortnight's time. So this will just be 90% fitness run, top him off, perfect going into the Cox Plate, where hopefully he can get the chockies there as well. Zaki on top from Nonconformist runs in next week's Caulfield Cup. This is just a little tune-up run for that event. I feel comfortable with him over the 2,000 metres, and if this is a strongly run affair, which I think it might be stronger than what plenty are saying with no effort and Homesman in the race, both these horses kick forward. He's fit. He's ready to go. 2,000 metres is up his alley. We know he runs well at Caulfield all the time. He was a track and trip winner last start in the Foundation Cup, which earned his spot into next week's Caulfield Cup. So I'll be tipping him for second and a little bit of value. Third, Probabile. Obviously, she's the class mirror of the race. Clearly the second best horse, but 2,000 metres, I just do have some queries over her, especially if it's not a walk in front. A little bit of pace might just leave her a little bit unstuck over the last half furlong or so for these closers such as Nonconformist down the outside, but Probable would be no shock to see her run second. I've got her in for third. Fourth selection here, Homesman. He was great last start at Moonee Valley. He's going to be up near the pace with no effort. He's probably going to be the horse to run down with 300 metres to go as Zaki makes his move. Zaki will grab him. Hopefully Nonconformist probably will grab him. Falls in for fourth on track for next week's Caulfield Cup. But just to quickly recap, Zaki on top, clearly from Nonconformist, Probable, and Homesman. And we'll move straight on now to the Toorak Handicap run over the mile. On top here for me, I'm thunderstruck. He was so stiff not to win a Group 1 level last start. Over 1,400 metres in the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes. He was just very green out the back, copping a few bumps here and there. Quite a checkered passage coming down the straight, but once he really found his stride, he motored home. Only just missed. We all know he should have won the race, and he was backed for a stack that day. Obviously, we got to take $2.80 to find out, but he does look the best horse in this race going forward, and with 52 kilos on his back, I understand why the market has found him. So I'm thunderstruck on top for me. Second selection, Elephant. He's done nothing wrong. He just keeps showing up. His only defeat thus far in his career was to Superstorm in the Feehan Stakes. I think he might turn the tables on that galloper here. It just seems like this has been one of their target races for the prep. Hopefully he can run top two for the stable and earn a spot in the Cox Plate in a fortnight's time. We know that was also their number one aim when coming over to Australia. So Elephant for me, in for second. My third selection, a little bit of value here in Asar. I love him to bits, and I know it's probably a sin, me loving this horse, but he's just, I don't know, there's something about him and I just absolutely love him. He's going to get it. He gets in light here. He was okay last week at Flemington, probably the big weight set in a little bit, being still an entire now as a 4-year-old. He probably just takes that little bit longer to get fit and really screwed down, but I'm confident the stable will have him right and ready on Toorak Handicap Day. 52 kilos. $31, could be a nice little each way play there. So Asar in for third, and my fourth selection is Dice Roll. Obviously second placing in the Sir Rupert Clarke Stakes last start. A repeat performance of that will see him go very close again in this. So quickly to recap, I'm thunderstruck to beat Elephant, Asar, and then Dice Roll in for fourth. Now we'll move straight onto the Caulfield Guineas for the 3-year-old colts and geldings over the mile. We know this is a stallion-making race, and it does look a race in two between the top two, Animo and Artorias. They've had a few good little battles in their career. I think Animo just holds the advantage, but I think, again, he might kick away here. He was second in the Golden Rose, Animo. He was an enormous run, defying a massive track pattern that day, which was hard against the fence or you can't win. So for him to motor home and only just miss in that race, it was a monster effort from him. He's well on track for this race and for the Cox Plate in a fortnight's time. We know, and the thing I like about him most over Artorias is that he's so professional in what he does. Artorias is still learning the trade a little bit, but we know he has that brilliance factor, which does obviously scared the Animo fans a little bit, but I'm confident Animo's professionalism and from what he's done to date will get him over the line in the Caulfield Guineas to claim his second Group 1 event. I've got him to beat Artorias. Draws well in Gate 2, just needs that clear passage and a fast pace in front, and he'll be motoring home as always. Hopefully just doesn't catch Animo. My third selection in the race is Coast Watch. He split Animo and Artorias in the Golden Rose last start, so he has to be given a good chance in this event. And my fourth selection is Forgot You. He's my Derby horse. If he gets a fast pace in front, he'll relish that. Hopefully run into a top 4 position and look the biggest winning chance in the VRC Derby with a nice little futures bet we've got there. But for me, on top here is Animo to beat Artorias, third selection Coast Watch, and Forgot You in for fourth. Thank you all again for watching, and I hope to see you all again next week for a big Caulfield Cup day. Make sure you check out bets.com.au for all your latest racing news and racing tips, and I'll talk to you all again next week.